Wow, Norfolk is just looking worse and worse. A second train derails in Ohio, amongst all the other trains that have derailed over the past year. Uh, seriously, I wonder how many trains will need to derail and how many people get hurt or sick from toxic chemicals before there's like actually a solid push for better train regulations.
Another Norfolk Southern train derailed in Ohio this weekend. It's been just 1 month since a separate train operated by the transportation company crashed and spilled hazardous material in a rural area. CBS's Chanel Call joins us now with the latest on this new investigation. Good evening, Chanel.
Good evening, and this is the company's second train derailment in just the last month, Jerika. We can tell you the previous one happened in East Palestine, Ohio, and what we saw there was toxic chemicals dumped into the water and soil. These recent incidents now prompting public and political scrutiny when it comes to rail safety across the country.
This is the moment 20 cars peeled off the track near Springfield, Ohio. Residents nearby were asked to briefly shelter in place. Today, local officials say there is no public risk.
The Ohio EPA made a determination that it was safe, so there is no hazards, both groundwater, air, nothing like that.
Saturday's accident follows a string of recent derailments across the country, including this fiery explosion in East Palestine, Ohio. 1 month later, residents say they are still physically suffering, even though the EPA's testing shows the air and water are safe.
The EPA has to be lying, because how can the water there be safe when people say whenever they take a shower, they suffer from burns and rashes and stuff like that? People talking about how they're having breathing issues and lung problems because of the air, and it's like, why is the like is our government like trying to cover something up or what? It's just are they just wanting to blatantly lie for no reason? There's obviously contaminated water. Otherwise they wouldn't be like, trying to ship some to injection wells and stuff like that. So like, just be honest, like, and make the company start cleaning up and do some cleanup as well. I mean, our government can easily afford to help take care of these people.
It is the latest dramatic incident on the tracks that has authorities and the public concerned.
It feels like we're talking more about train derailments recently. Are we seeing a spike in incidents?
We are not. If you go back for the last 5 or 6 years, you'll see we're at a constant rate.
And according to federal data, rail remains the safest way to move hazardous materials. But after the East Palestine disaster, Ohio Senator Sherrod Brown would like to see rail safety standards improve.
It's clear that their greed and incompetence always takes precedent over making their workers safe and making communities safe that they go through.
Yeah, wasn't there a strike over safety conditions at the railroads? And what did the Biden administration do? Side with the railroad companies and force the workers to stop their strike. So these kinds of things, it's long in the making due to the greed and incompetence of the companies and our government.
Last week, Brown and a bipartisan group of senators proposed new safety legislation for trains carrying hazardous materials.
And state and federal officials now say cleanup in East Palestine, Ohio, will take roughly 2 months, Jerika. What we're seeing crews do there is remove all the contaminated soil. Then they will have to relay the track work there. We're also expected to learn a bit more about exactly what went wrong in East Palestine later on this week. Coming up on Thursday, we will finally get to hear from the CEO of Norfolk Southern at a Senate committee hearing on Thursday. Back to you.
All right.